On another note, I am delighted that you've decided to create a scholarship in the name of Kathleen Blinkhorn. I want Quinn to stand up, and she's going to be taller than me, but that's okay. She's a lot prettier as well. And her brother, yes, I meant that, sorry. And I hope we didn't embarrass you, but I want to tell just a little story because I think it speaks volumes about their mother. And in a very real way, I think it speaks volumes about you. It's the story of Joshua Bell. Some may not know Joshua Bell is one of the world's leading violinists. There was a social experiment in a Washington subway. Joshua Bell, a little scruffier than he presented the night he played in the auditorium, was sitting in a subway playing his violin. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. People rushed past. Little kids, some of them wanted to stop and listen to him, but their parents grabbed them. Said, "We've got to move on. It's busy." He stayed there for an hour. In 1 hour, he collected $32.67. Their mother was like Joshua Bell. And here is the comparison. Joshua Bell, later that night, played in the auditorium, Performing Arts Center in Washington, to a sellout capacity crowd, tickets ranging anywhere from $100 up, raising thousands and thousands of dollars for charity. The violin he played in the subway with was worth $3.5 million. It's the Gibson Stradivarius, one of a kind. He played 4 of Bach's most difficult works. But he was in a subway. It's scruffy hair. People didn't have time for them. Your mother always had time for people. It was not uncommon for your mother to stop and help someone, whether it is in New York City or Toronto or places like Sudbury or Kenora, small towns. It made no difference to her. She was committed in a very, very real way. She showed that people should care, and she did something about it. You see, you people understand that. You can sit down now, okay? You people understand how important that work that she was doing is. She did it right up until the time of her death. Having not worked with her personally, I have heard, it's legendary, that she attended briefings in the ministry, coughing, understanding that there was something wrong, but there was still work for her to do. Unfortunately, for her, her family, and us, she lost her battle with cancer. But her legacy lives on. Her legacy will always live on because of your decision to honor her memory with a special scholarship. I think that's most appropriate, and I thank you for it. So one more story, and that's it. It's the 3 bricklayer story. I don't know if some of you have heard it, but being from a bricklaying family, it's a story that I grew to live by. A person was walking along the street in Sudbury, by the way, and saw 3 bricklayers. She asked the first bricklayer, "David, "What are you doing?" And the bricklayer was very curt and said, "Can't you see I'm building a wall?" Asked the second bricklayer, "What are you doing?" Richard. And Richard said, "Can't you see? I'm laying bricks." Third bricklayer stood up and said, "No, these two guys, they get it wrong. We're building the future." And that's so true of you. Looking to the future, I want to continue to work with you in partnership to improve affordable housing across Ontario. I've said it, Keith referenced it, but you have to believe it by the time you walk out of here. You are critical if we are to achieve success as a government and as a ministry. I know that your association makes many important contributions to many government initiatives, including, most recently, the consultation on the long-term affordable housing strategy and the proposed reforms to the Social Housing Reform Act. Keith highlighted, as your minister, I want to build on the good relationship you've had with this ministry and with governments. And so today, I'm here to learn and listen. I want to hear your point of view. I want to know how you feel we can work in partnership to solve the issues facing the nonprofit sector. I want to help to build the future you want with you. And I am a person, as you can figure out, who strongly believes that in building partnerships, you achieve results. And partnerships can't take place without dialogue. My wife of 40 years and I have realized that in a partnership, when there is no disagreement, there is no need for a partnership. And so we won't always agree, but we will always agree to continue the dialogue. We will always agree to be open to communication. We will always agree that we can do anything in the spirit of trust and goodwill. We can and will continue to make advances for the people of this province whose futures depend on us getting it right. And so after lunch, I am looking forward to discussing a variety of issues and of your concerns. Some of the issues we'll be discussing include support for Aboriginal communities, the special priority policy, support services, and the need for a new supply of affordable housing. I'm interested in hearing your ideas that expand on the theme of this conference, doing things right differently. Our government has been trying very hard to do things right when it comes to affordable housing. Frankly, we've had little choice in the matter but to do it differently. We're facing very challenging economic times. The worldwide recession has taken its toll on the province of Ontario, but the need for social services, as Keith said, has grown to record levels. We've done an awful lot as a government in partnership with you. But ladies and gentlemen, there is still a lot we have to do. And even though Ontario is facing an unprecedented deficit of some $18.7 billion, that should not be reason to stop looking for creative ways, to look for unique opportunities, to look for those type of partnerships that make sense. And yes, we've been very lucky over the course of the last couple of years. We haven't had money withdrawn from our initiatives. And yes, by working with the federal government, we've been able to pump $1.2 billion into housing, and we've done an awful lot of things. And I could repeat them, but I'm not going to, because I've been off script more than I've been on script, and my time is probably up. And I don't want to leave, though, without saying a few things that are very important with regards to the future. The future is ours. The future will be dictated by you. The long-term affordable strategy had roughly 1,000 people commenting on it. 13 different locations from all across Ontario. We heard the wisdom of those people in their communities articulating the need for change. Yes, we are in a very, very tough economic situation with not a lot of fiscal resources. So a long-term affordable plan has to be a creative plan. I think our document is very creative. Has to set the path for the future when there are more resources, and I think it's going to do that. But you people have told us, have told governments, past, present, and I know you'll tell governments in the future, it has to be people-centered. And I am very comfortable, without giving any giveaways with regards to the strategy, that when you read it, you are going to be very happy, because it is, it will be, and in the future, it'll be that tool that is people-centered to provide opportunities. There is going to be a bit of a changing of authority within this strategy. There is a need for the local level to have a little bit more power, have a little bit more decision-making authority, have a little bit more opportunity to make effective change happen quicker. I think you'll be satisfied with that part of the strategy. I want to conclude by spelling out to you something that happened to my family a long time ago that sort of articulates what and why Rick Bartolucci does what he does. I spoke a little bit about my childhood, and wasn't a lot of money. And at Christmas time, getting an apple and an orange was a big deal. And we had children. We have children. David knows them well. One Christmas, when they, I think, were about 10 and 8, had given about, my daughter gave a list of 40 things. My son gave a list of about 38. And I told Maureen, geez, something wrong here. I think this Christmas we'll get him an apple and an orange. We did. All right? You know the only Christmas they talk about? Is the Christmas when they got the apple and the orange. What does that tell us? It tells us that kids care, people care. Together we can make change. Together we can ensure that we meet the needs of society. Together we can spread the wealth. Together we can make meaningful change. And together we can provide a better Ontario, a stronger Ontario, a more compassionate Ontario, an Ontario that cares, that has your values. Thank you very much.